Hello everybody. Yes, we're back. Hi. Today we're going to be talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 3. My favorite episode so far. Even though it's only been 3 episodes and it's 3 episodes, but still I really liked it. It was fun, and it was fun majorly because of one person, this man, Baron Zemo. His name is actually not Baron, like his first name is not Baron. I didn't know that, I didn't used to read the MCU comics. But yes, Baron Zemo, very interesting character, and I am so happy that they brought him. I really am. After Civil War, you think, but a lot of times after the movie, the villain never comes back, and it's just this guy that rots away somewhere, or unfortunately is exed. Yes. Yeah, but it's fun seeing Baron Zemo here. He's a very interesting villain, and yeah, again, like I said before, the fact that MCU is bringing these characters to actually flesh them out is interesting, because even though Phase 4 has just started, I mean, it hasn't just started. We've had Spider-Man Far From Home, but that was like 2 years ago. Everybody has forgotten. Okay, no, but it's just 2 years ago. Anyway. Sorry, I digress. Even though these shows just started, I can tell that Phase 4 was a very good move. It was really something I was worried about, like, what are they going to do? But so far, they've been doing well. I want to say though that episode 3 has been my favorite episode so far. But in general, I don't know why, and this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I still prefer WandaVision. I know we haven't finished Falcon and Winter. I know we haven't finished Falcon and Winter Soldier, but so far, I still like, I don't know why, but I do. But this was very interesting, and I will get into it as to why. It was actually a very unexpected episode. Yeah, I mean, the things that they did in it was they were unexpected for me. I mean, we already knew at the end of the episode 2 and last episode that they were going to go and talk with Zemo. But what we didn't know was that they were actually going to, well, they didn't. It was actually, what's his name? My boy, James Buchanan, that decided that they needed more than just information from him, but they actually needed him to try and stop these super soldiers. And so because of that, they had to break him out. I wasn't expecting. I thought it was just going to be a banter, between both of them, probably Zemo being vexed and this guy that's James Buchanan. I prefer saying his full name, but I'll try and stick with Bucky, but I think my brain will first of all remember James Buchanan. But anyway, Bucky being pissed and trying to control himself and all that, but it was actually a very level-headed conversation between the both of them. I will say though that we don't know yet what he is capable of or what he plans to do. A lot of times in the show, I was expecting him to actually go AWOL a lot of times, but he actually stuck with them. And this surprised me. We all know he's a villain.
Except when you shot that guy in the chest.
Oh no, yes. Oh no, I saw that one coming. I already knew. I mean, no, minus the fact that with the whole gun situation, I already knew that he's not going to let that guy live. But just his demeanor, his character, his portrayal, the way he has been, accustoming himself to them, was actually a very nice surprise for me. By the way, I want to say something before we continue. There was this video I was watching on YouTube, and this person was talking about how he prefers DC to the MCU because of the whole thing where MCU don't really take themselves seriously, and they established the fact that some of the things they were doing are ridiculous, like fighting monsters and aliens and stuff like that. And he prefers DC because they actually take what they are doing seriously. After like 2 minutes, I stopped listening to that person. I mean, it's someone that actually watched, but after like 2 minutes, I literally just turned off the video because I was like, excuse me, if anything, MCU actually portrays reality more. Of course, they would be, finding things to laugh about, because in reality, if we find ourselves in weird situations, we obviously will have to try to find a way to make it take it lightly. I know when I'm hanging out with people and some things are actually going down, I know, okay, at that point maybe we're not thinking of trying to make it a light, trying to laugh about it or trying to find something funny, but at the end of the day we do try, because we're friends, so we actually end up exchanging words and teasing each other. But in the DC, everything is dark. I mean, look at the color of even the Snyder Cut, bruh. At least there's some light and color in the MCU. Anyway, that was just a slight rant, by the way. The reason why I said it is because, given that Baron Zemo is a villain, you would think she should be some straightforward, kind of dark, kind of like deep, thoughtful person. But we see him as a human being. I mean, he was dancing at a club. I'm not saying that he wasn't secretly like exchanging something with somebody while he was getting it down, but at least he knew how to dance. Like, he had some sense of humor. And for me, that makes MCU more realistic than DC. I know, okay, there is no such thing as Krypton and all those other places. And there also isn't, okay, I don't know. We haven't proven that they are aliens yet or there aren't aliens yet. But like, basically what I'm saying is that for me, MCU is a more realistic universe. For me, it is a world that is possible. Okay, I'm done with that. Let's get back to business. So yeah, the entire thing with episode 3 was just basically them trying to find out where the super soldier serum came from, because as we all know, it was destroyed by Zemo. And Bucky is basically Bucky is basically the last super soldier aside from that man in the previous episode, but he's basically the last one. So having these new ones, they needed to find the source and end it before anything else comes up. And Baron Zemo being Baron Zemo and having all the information about these super soldiers, they knew they needed him. And so that's the whole thing with episode 3, just finding out who the power broker is, where the super soldier serum is coming from. And without getting too much into it, I really, really enjoyed it. It was a very nice episode. It was a very adventurous episode. We got to see a whole lot more of the MCU, and also I think this also brought in some crossovers, because the place that they went to, what's it called? Something poor, Majipur, Jimapur.
Just poor in the end.
Some poor. So we get to see a lot more of the MCU. The MCU was actually expanded, and even to some extent, the multiverse was brought into this again, because Majipur, the island they went to, is actually a fictional island in the X-Men series. So bringing that, and not just the island, but some other characters were also brought from the X-Men series, and some other little hints and Easter eggs there. Again, I've never really read the comics, so I don't know the whole entirety of what they are bringing in from the comics, but we can see that a lot of this episode is from the X-Men series. So I think that's a way of branching out and expanding. I'm sorry, I just have to say it again. Phase 4 so far has been amazing, really. I mean, I'm intrigued. I'm interested to see what they will do with it. So yeah, on this island, they go there and then they find Sharon Carter, Peggy Carter's grand niece, who isn't as bubbly as she used to be. This lady, she's walking on the dark side. I mean, she's not a villain, but like, your girl has gone, she's basically into illegal stuff. And do you know what? I really enjoyed that. I enjoy where her character is now, because she said something that has always been a point of interest to me, and that is the fact that heroes, or this sense of superheroes, sometimes can be a little hypocritic, where it's all about the good that they've done, and it's all about these people are like, you raise them up to this high pedestal, and you forget their humanity, which at some point could break them or could make them feel almost invincible, and then they end up being people that can't, they feel like just because people are praising them, it means that whatever they do, even in the future, is right. I mean, I don't really want to get into it, but that's one of the reasons why I don't really like Captain America. I don't want to get into it though, but yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't really like Captain America, because for me, he has had a good run. A lot of times, what he has done has ended up being beneficial to a lot of people. Guy, I'm not saying that he's not a good. I like him. He's a good superhero, but it can get to a point where these people feel like, to some extent, that they are above the law, because whatever they do, will ultimately be for the good of the people. And they don't know where that line is between actually being a superhero and being almost invincible. You are still a human being at the end of the day, so you need to be checked. Your morality needs to be checked. I know that was not like the whole point that she was making, but Baron Zemo also made that point, and I loved it. Honestly, please, can we? I think there are like 3 episodes left. I beg, more of Baron Zemo. He's so cool. I know I'm mentioning the whole name, but like I like the name Baron Zemo. More of him. He is speaking truth. At the end of the day, he may actually turn against them because he's ultimately a villain. But I mean, this is the MCU, anything can happen. But I just really like the fact that they are being very honest about the people that the so-called people that they've kind of raised up to something else. And that's partly why, what's his name? Sam and Bucky. That's partly why they don't want this new Captain America, because to them, there is nobody that can be like Steve. And I'm not saying that it isn't true. I'm just saying that they've raised him up to the point where it's almost like he's infallible. Anyway, that's one of the things I really enjoyed about it. Now let's also get to the main villains, which are the super soldiers. And we have seen now that if not all of them, at least their head, what's her name again? Kylie is getting a little more dangerous. She does something that even her own, like a team member of hers, did not expect. So they call themselves freedom fighters. They call themselves, people that are trying to seek justice for the world and trying to get back to a point where the world was one and everything was good and all right. But actually what she did was very villainous. She claims that the GRC are actually bad guys because they are putting them in hold-up camps and they are not really taking care of those that were left behind, but they are just into those ones that came back. I'm not saying that that everything they are doing is good. Some of them may even be corrupt, but you can't excuse your evil because of the evil somebody is doing. You can't say that you have a right to do bad to people because they did bad to you. I'm sorry, I can't accept that. The only way the world can change and be better is if good overcomes evil. And right now, she's not giving me any good reason to follow them. They are actually going to turn out to be, maybe not all of them, but at least she is going to be a very, very dangerous character. And I can't wait to see where they take her to. Finally, at the end of the episode, we saw something that was, I don't know, again, very unexpected. This episode was good. We see a crossover into Wakanda. That was so cool. Seeing this character, Ayo. I'm going to call her Ayo. Her name is Ayo. Maybe it's Ayo, but Ayo is a Nigerian name, and that's the only way I can pronounce it comfortably. So I'm going to call her Ayo. So yes, Ayo, if we remember, she was she was basically bodyguard to Prince or King T'Challa. So yeah, she comes back for Zemo's head after he obviously, has escaped. So obviously Wakanda has already found out and they're coming for him. And I think what's his name? Bucky knew this was going to happen. In fact, Sam expected this to happen because he was actually against them breaking Zemo out. In fact, not even them. It was only Bucky that did this. He was against Bucky breaking Zemo out. So I think he expected Wakanda to come for it. He said, this has happened before. We saw Wakanda, coming for, okay, we didn't know the whole of Wakanda, but we saw that, people of Wakanda actually, thirsting for, okay, not thirsting, but like they wanted, justice and vengeance against their country and the evil that was done on them. We saw it in Andy Serkis's character when they wanted him for stealing the vibranium from their country. So obviously Wakanda, they are not an easily forgiving people. You can't just do anything to Wakandans and expect to walk away, bruh. They're coming for your head. So yeah, that's where they leave us in episode 3. Ayo coming, talking to White Wolf, aka Bucky, aka James Buchanan. And yeah, that was very exciting for me, seeing something in the big screen actually coming to the small screen. And I can't wait to see where they take it from there. Anyway, that's it for me and Falcon and Vision. Anyway, that's it for me with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I can't wait for episode 4. I'm actually getting more and more interested now, even though WandaVision is still better. Ha 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 ha. Hope to see you guys soon. And as always, I wish every one of you wellness in every single area of your lives. Peace. Bye.